Some people look at this coffee house on the outside and think it's just a Starbucks. But those in the know see the special reserve symbol. They know this is not your average Starbucks. Starbucks Reserve stores prepare coffees that Starbucks considers the best in the world, usually single origin coffees. The coffee is roasted at its regional roastery and brought to one of their 43 and growing in number select locations around the world. They also have beautiful open spaces, decor, and very comfortable seating inside. It's a real experience to visit these.
This is the largest Starbucks in Hong Kong, and it's a Starbucks Reserve. It was started pretty recently, and they're very proud of this store. It's actually much larger than the Reserve stores that we've been to, and people kind of use it as a real restaurant. They kind of take their time, they work on things, and they're working on things much more serious than scripts. I see people design buildings and things like that, so a lot of things happening here at the Starbucks Reserve in Hong Kong.
We're at the Starbucks Reserve in Hong Kong. We actually just ran into it. I knew about it, but it's such a relief to find it because we've been looking for something cool to do, and then all of a sudden stumbled into this place. And I ordered a avocado scrambled eggs toast, which is really cool because in the Starbucks Reserve in LA, none of them have unique food. But this is really unique. Like, where can you get avocado toast with scrambled eggs? In Hong Kong you can. Let's see how it is. It's alright. It's not like amazing, but it's just nice to have different kind of food. It's rushing for. We have another hour.
We do? You said it's 12:56 right now.
We got a whole another hour.
What do you mean? We got to 2?
What are you guys in a hurry for?
What are you talking about? We have to be out of here in 4 minutes.
You talk to them?
Yeah.
Oh, did you give us another hour?
Got another hour, so
Oh,
you guys are
boy.
rushing for nothing.
Holy crap, we get to brush our teeth and everything?
I was born Russian.
Alright, this is our next hotel in Causeway Bay. It's got a really cool view. It's actually maybe a better view than the last hotel. As you can see from the 17th floor, the same, what is that, a soccer field?
That's what it looks like.
There's some kind of...
No, that's the Happy Valley racetrack.
Oh, racetrack, yeah.
Oh, the racetrack. That's where they have the horses in it. Jockey club.
It's a little bit of a messy window from the humidity here. But it's... Oh yeah, that's actually a better view from my bed. I didn't even realize because I didn't really look before.
He didn't open his eyes while he was sleeping.
Looks like it's upscale here. In 1991, this area now called Times Square was considered derelict. Developers built up massive malls with big luxury retailers here on cheap land. They installed a Starbucks Reserve store, so you know the area is highly valued. It's considered one of the most prime areas in Causeway Bay. A true success story, but if you're here in Hong Kong, you can really walk through here in under 10 minutes. Occasionally, they have interesting exhibits featured here, such as the one we missed for Mickey Mouse's 90th birthday celebration. Minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the commercial craziness of Causeway Bay, you'll find Borington Road Wet Market, reminiscent of old Shanghai. Wait, did I just say wet market? Where's the bat soup? No, we're not in Wuhan, we're in Hong Kong. The smell of dead carcasses runs very rampant here. It's a smell you will take with you wherever you go once you set foot here. This market gives a glimpse of history since its early days. The vendors receive constant fresh deliveries here. The carcasses hang high, ready for prompt butchering. Little refrigeration or freezers are seen here. The sanitation standards are appalling, but at least we didn't see any bats for sale. Bamboo about to fall into the street. Sadly, the neon lights that have made up the Hong Kong landscape are slowly disappearing. The Hong Kong authorities have removed many of the signs due to simply not complying with local ordinances and energy efficiencies. There's also very few neon light apprentices learning the craft for carrying the tradition in the future. One day, they'll all be LED lights just like everywhere else. Central is actually centrally located in Hong Kong, just like its name. It's where you usually pick up the train or Star Ferry when venturing off to different parts of the island or departing to Macau or mainland China. By foot or public transit, this is often your base for most activities. Central is also where you would go on the peak tram to the top of the mountain to get the best view of Hong Kong A link in the description shows our fun adventure with the Peak Tram on a prior video we made. More importantly, Central has some of the best nightlife with other expatriates and fellow international travelers. The bars and clubs are so popular on weekend nights that the sidewalks are usually full of people either walking to get inside or simply out to have a great time people watching. It's likely one of the easiest areas to find fellow English-speaking people, but the prices are also significantly higher for these establishments versus others more known to only locals of Hong Kong. Here on Mong Kok, one gets the true feeling of Times Square, not like that other area in Hong Kong that is actually called Times Square, but bears little resemblance to the one in New York City. True to its name, Mong Kok literally means crowded corner. It offers large shopping malls and the traditional smaller shops and food stalls that have disappeared all throughout the other areas of Hong Kong.
Something or other, and you ordered her to put some more sauce to it.
You got some kind of calf bone soup?
Yeah, and Danny wanted her to add a little bit more sauce to it to make it tastier. And Kevin's doing something weird. And so basically, you cook it yourself, but it's not quite boiling yet. So.
请验餐 A27， 请验餐 A27。
Keep those away from mine.
A27，
Oh, get it.
请验餐
Oh, they split into two pieces, huh?
A27， 请验餐 A27。
Two, not the tourist price.
So how's your soup?
It's very, very good because partially made it myself, I guess, but not really. It's very, very good.
That's unusual for you to make the food, right?
There was like a 2-hour wait for a lot of people, but I think they said we want these guys in this place, so they let us in early. So. And Danny was curious about how you drink this. You obviously would just drink it like you would just drink it like this. There's no. Yeah, it looks like a lot less of a wait, but it's actually interesting that there's a pretty good restaurant inside a mall, and it's not that expensive actually when you convert it to US dollars. Oh, that's a good point. It's expensive for the locals. One of the rare clients, see Kevin and
You guys have the meat over there.
seen him with a little boy bib on.
And they saw me videoing, so they gave us a complimentary ice cream.
So how do you explain for the people?
Did they give it to other people too?
Yeah.
She said,
So the whole round?
have a good time. When we go, have a good time because it's really good ice cream. You drink it.
Is it ice cream or is it alcoholic?
Tastes kind of alcoholic actually.
I don't know. You can tell with him in 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's got it. Unless you come very late in the evening, skip Temple Street Market. Unfortunately, we arrived earlier in the evening when only a few things were open. It shows up on all of the lists for things to do in Hong Kong. All the shops sell very similar tacky trinkets and souvenirs that you don't need to waste your time and money on anyways. Sellers are notoriously aggressive and pushy here. If you choose to come here, make sure to bring a buddy along for security. And don't blame me if you didn't like it. Yeah. Why do you have more fun on these streets, Kevin?
Crazier things to look at.
There, real quick.
Here we are at the giant Buddha. It took 3 years to build this thing. It's like 250 tons, some bronze I believe, to create this thing. It's 112 feet tall, and man, it was crazy when they first made this because they invited monks from all over the world. Now it's also one of the biggest tourist attractions in Hong Kong, primarily Lantau Island. It's one of the coolest things to see, but we gotta go over there. We have 1 hour. It's the golden hour. It's free to see it on the outside. On the inside it costs money, but we're gonna try to see as much as we can. And behind me, Kevin is with some cows, and Michael's taking pictures. Although many people associate Buddhism with Asia, the truth is the origins come from India. Buddhism was started by Siddhartha Gautama 2,500 years ago in India. It is interesting because there aren't many followers of Buddhism in India today. The Tian Tan Buddha, or Big Buddha in Hong Kong, is a major tourist attraction. The Big Buddha stands at 112 feet tall and weighs 280 tons. To reach the Buddha, you have to climb 268 long steps. It is tiring, but worth it.
The one side said, "No riding the cattle."
Really?
Yeah.
Were you thinking of it?
Better than letting the cattle ride me.
In 1999, the Hong Kong Post Office created a landmark stamp to celebrate the Big Buddha. When you go in a group to Big Buddha, be sure to have a specific time and meeting place for the departure bus or gondola back to Tung Chung in order to ensure you leave with your group together too.
Where's the handicap access? How do wheelchairs get up here?
It's not OSHA compliant.
No.
It's not OSHA compliant.
No.
You fall down these
You
steps.
should have taken the escalator or the elevator. It doesn't exist. How'd the Buddha get up here? He weighs a lot. He's definitely handicapped.
Do you know how long it took to create this, Kevin?
360
Times 3. Word to the wise. If you're coming up here for the first time, probably best not to come at sunset because it is really backlit. Unless you have a professional camera, you're not going to be able to fix this.
Cameraman's having a problem here. He's
Yeah.
being attacked by bees.
Sorry for the shaky footage.
Word to the wise, wear deodorant, otherwise you will be covered with bees.
We're here at the Tian Tan Buddha, also known as the Big Buddha on Lantau Island in Hong Kong. And what's cool about this is how long it took to make it. It was 3 years, right, Michael? Isn't that enormous? And also what's cool about it is it's really in the middle of nowhere because you have to take a bus or a gondola for 45 minutes. It's overlooking like this really beautiful monastery in front of us. So I guess it's kind of like a place that a lot of monks, I think a lot of monks have to probably visit it just because it's considered one of the most holiest sites in the world probably. So I think that's why they felt they had to build this very large Buddha to kind of commemorate the fact that it is such a holy site for them.
Buddhism and Confucianism are pretty popular in Asia, so this is probably a pilgrimage spot even for many Buddhists around the world to
It's like he's
come to
waving.
this
It's
spot.
like the Buddha is waving.
Hi, thank you.
Okay, we got to get on the bus or we're going to be
We'll be screwed.
We will be screwed because you won't be able to get back unless you pay a lot for a taxi. For a 45-minute taxi in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Can you even get that? Okay, let's go. As you can see. While Kevin ventured over to Po Lin Monastery, Michael and I were still on top of the steps of Big Buddha. Like us. And then over there in the distance is the gondola that will take you here. Unfortunately, there was a typhoon and we were not able to take it. So maybe one other day in the future. When we left in a hurry to catch the last bus, we didn't realize that there was still one more bus after the one that Michael and I were taking, nor were we able to ask the driver in English whether it was the last bus or not. We had no cell service to communicate with each other and ended up taking 2 separate buses back to Tongcheng, not knowing where each other was until we were back in civilization. That is humongous. You can actually see it from pretty far away. Some people mistake this symbol as the Nazi symbol, but it's actually a symbol of peace in Buddhism, I believe. So it's interesting that the Nazis were distorting the use of this. It's actually not quite the same because it is, and the Nazi symbol is, I believe, tilted 45 degrees, whereas this is level. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by generously pressing that like button so it turns blue, and subscribe. It lets me know that you care and I feel loved. Thanks for watching. Here we are at the large Buddha. It has a special name, but I can't think of it right now.
I think it was a big Buddha.
Actually, let me see.